You stood in your power. You stood in your leadership. You said, I'm not falling back down to that victim mindset. I'm creating the life that I know is possible for me. You actually put this healthy compression on yourself to step into what you know you're capable of. You couldn't even take your own shit anymore. In today's episode, I have invited on one of my clients from my signature group program, the Conscious Creator Academy. Not only was she a part of this program, she was also at my in-person retreat in Sedona, and she truly has transformed her life ever since coming into my world and joining the community and really being a part of this greater mission of really creating and manifesting your dream life. In this episode, JaJa and I speak all about who she was before she joined the program and who she is today and really how she's going on to change the world. She gets really vulnerable in this episode. She talks about her struggles, limiting beliefs, and really goes deep into her personal story. And I actually start tearing up at one point because she really has transformed her life. And in this episode, you witness her transformation from start to finish. So grab your tissue box. This story is so beautiful, powerful, and impactful. She is based in Geneva, Switzerland, and she showed up 100% present for everything that we always did. Came to the retreat in Sedona. Oh, and by the way, if you hear her say the names MYDL or Manifest Your Dream Life, that was the previous name to the program that is now called the Conscious Creator Academy or CCA. So that is what she is referring to, but her story will move you. Let's get right into the episode. I am super excited to have one of my clients here, JaJa. Welcome to the show, JaJa.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Hi.
Hello, we are so happy to have you, and I'm super excited for you to share more about your story, your evolution, your experience after going through my signature program, the Conscious Creator Academy, and really where I'd like you to start is all about who you were before you joined the program and what excited you and attracted you to this program.
All right. So before joining the MYDL program back in September.
Also, for context, she joined when it was called MYDL. Now it's Conscious Creator Academy. So when she says MYDL, that's what we're speaking about.
That's right. So yeah, I was trying to figure out how to learn. So I wanted to launch my clothing brand, and I really felt like I needed help with how to handle all the social media aspects and the marketing aspects as well to this business. And I was really looking forward a mindset shift. And since then, I've worked a lot on rewiring my brain and my thoughts and changing them, because I still have a lot, and before I had so much limiting beliefs. And it changed so much since September, because I've really done this work of breaking out of the matrix of this paradigm of how I've been raised and all the thoughts that didn't belong to me, and to change these into positive ones and empowering ones. And so, yeah, it gave me the confidence, the faith, the strength to pursue my dream business, and also to start other businesses. So, yeah.
I love that so much. And it's such a beautiful story to hear about where you were to where you are now. So you joined the program, right? So let's just backtrack. You joined in August of 2022. And then we started in September. And then by November, you had launched your clothing brand. So walk us through that. Tell us that experience of bringing your idea into the physical reality.
Okay, so I always had this idea of having a clothing line, and I just never felt like I had a good concept and solid one, because I never wanted it to be just a clothing brand. I wanted it to be something more. So in April 2022, I had that vision for the brand, and I was thinking, how can I make this happen? And I just let time go, May, June, July, and then I find you on Instagram, and I remember I DM'd you like the visuals, and so yeah, I felt like I really needed that push as well. And then in the end of August, I was like, okay, it's time. So I got all the machines to do the sweatshirts and everything, and I started showing what I had tried with the machines on Instagram. And before the launch in November, I had already sold like 10 or 12
Wow.
t-shirts. And so that was awesome. A lot of confirmations. And being in MYDL, it really allows me to be in an environment surrounded by people who understood and who encouraged me, and that helped just tremendously, because I think what I'm thinking about the conversations we had in Sedona, and the feeling of being feeling alone in this journey when we were in our hometown. It was very hard for me to break through that and follow my intuitions and ideas. And so being with that group, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, I can do it, it's gonna be great, it's great, and let's do it. Yeah.
I love that so much. And I want to highlight how, like, you started with me on Instagram, right? Like, you found the course, you joined the course, and then, like, literally just last month, we were in Sedona together. You came on the retreat, and it's evolved into so much more, because everything that I do in my business is so focused around community and so focused on bringing people together. So it's just so beautiful to watch this evolution, starting with the clothing brand, right? You were always such an active student. You came to all the calls, you did everything. You really, really went to your full potential. And then you came to Sedona. You met more people. You connected more. So tell us a little bit more how Sedona impacted you after being around the women. And I know you walked away with a lot of new ideas. So how did that inspire you?
Yes. Yes, it's so crazy that it all started with finding your account, and it grew into such a beautiful community for me, and women supporting women, and finding all of these inspiring other female entrepreneurs that are so successful. It's just, I really feel like Sedona expanded my mind and my heart and my vision as well. So I walked away with all the next steps, all the next actions I'm gonna take for my brand and for myself. And in Sedona, I also received a lot of confirmation about going back to school,
Mm.
going back to therapy. You know, it wasn't just only business. And I felt like I was with my big sisters, and I was there just like little sister, just watching them, and you know, just like a little sister, like stars in my eyes, just with everyone. It
Yeah.
was so inspiring, and I also walked away with this um, power and confidence of just go and knock on, don't even knock on the doors, just walk in and ask and ask what you want, and
Yeah.
you will receive. And you know, I remember that when you receive no's, you should be so happy because it's bringing you closer to your yes. So I really walked away with that as well. And emotionally, I walked away with just being confident in being who we are and opening our hearts, because it's so beautiful when it happens. When we open our hearts, the connections are just so powerful and deep, and you feel like you could do everything, anything you want, you can do it. Yeah.
I love that. And this is such a common theme, it sounds like, for you, of expansion, right? Like when you joined MYDL, now CCA, it expanded you. You came to Sedona, it expanded you. So I would love to hear from you, who is the person you had to become to say yes to your future self now?
I had to I had to become someone who take risks, who make things happen. And I believe that when you want something and when it's made for you, you know, it won't pass you by. And I remember in New York when you talked to me about this idea of a retreat in March, and you were thinking about Sedona, and you asked me, would you come? And I was like, hell yeah. I had no money. I was broke. I, but I told you, these occasions are too big to just pass by them for me, because I know these experiences are so valuable and precious to have in us, that I was like, yes, I'm coming. And I had to make it happen, right? And right before the trip, I remember all the limiting beliefs, I let them come back into my head again. When I texted you, I was so pissed at myself, because I was like, I was literally conscious of what I was doing, of what I was saying, and I was like, that is so bullshit. But I let it in again, and I'm proud that I actually haven't, and that I came to Sedona, and that I manifested the money, more money than I thought I would make in 2 weeks. That I came, and I haven't only been to Sedona. I went to New York and Amsterdam right after Sedona as well. What else? It was crazy.
Wow. This is so beautiful. Thank you so much for being so like vulnerable and open here, because this is just making me think that when you stand in your truth, you actually impact others to stand in theirs. So for example, when you messaged me and you were like, I don't think I'm going to come, or like, I can't, right? And you're like, I knew it was the limiting beliefs. If I didn't stand in my truth, I would have done a disservice to you. But because you said yes. You made a commitment to yourself. I stood in my power. I stood in my truth, even though I wanted to say, of course, JaJa, I love you. Because I do, but the real, true, honest love is standing in what I believe in and being a leader and standing in my integrity. And look what manifested from that. So tell us how you went from walking yourself through those limiting beliefs to being in Sedona, New York, Amsterdam, manifesting money. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah. Okay, so okay. So I knew I was able to make money because of other jobs I had. I knew I know how to sell things, right? But I just didn't have the environment to do that because I just couldn't find a job, like a corporate job, having an employer and things like that. And I was listening to all, I was listening all the time to um, affirmations, like 7 hours long affirmations. I was just walking around. At one point, my all my days, like I stopped listening to music and just listened to all these audios and bathed
Wow.
in them, and I was like, yes, 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 I'm feeling it, I'm feeling it. I know I can do it, I know I can do it. And I was like, so many people can make money and I can make money as well. So I just I had to let my brain find solutions, subconsciously it just works all the time. And then one day I was like, wait, how about I sell things at the markets in my city? And I was literally on the tramway like, oh shit. And then I just called. I just called my city. In 2 weeks I
Yeah.
had all the authorization and I started 2 weeks before going to Sedona. I started making my own money selling freaking pastries, and it's the best thing ever. Working for myself, having my little business, having my little clothing brand. Um, I wanted to have 1K in cash before going to travel, and I made 1.5K. So I was like more than happy, more than comfortable. I received more than I wanted, and here I was.
That's so beautiful. And just to recap everything you said, like you stood in your power, you stood in your leadership. You said, I'm not falling back down to that victim mindset. I'm creating the life that I know is possible for me. And what is so powerful in that knowing is that because you were in the MYDL program, because you were in the program that expanded your mind, showed you other female entrepreneurs, you said yes to Sedona, you were going to be in a room of entrepreneurs. You're like, I need to make this happen. That you actually put this healthy compression on yourself to step into what you know you're capable of. You couldn't even take your own shit anymore. You're like, I need to be my future self now. So you did what you needed to do. You started selling cakes. Like you just went to the store, bought ingredients, you started selling cakes at your local market. And like, it's funny, we laugh, but this is how my journey started. Like I
Yeah.
resold clothes on Poshmark. Like you can find a way when you commit to your future self now, and that's exactly what you did. So thank you so much for sharing this.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for your course because I wasn't even aware of, Abraham Hicks rampages,
Yeah.
um, the Napoleon Hill's books, The Secret, the all of these things. And I really needed that, to see it for myself that it was working on others. I was like, wait, let me like actually really commit to it 100% and watch the changes. And it took 2 to 3 months to really shift everything and to flip and be conscious of the negative thoughts, to flip them. And now I do it constantly. I'm like, oh no, this will happen. Oh, actually no, the opposite is gonna happen and it's gonna be so much fun. So yeah, that's awesome.
I'm so proud of you. And it's been such a beautiful evolution watching you
Thank
from
you.
being in my DM saying, I want to join your program. How can I sign up? And you're like, I'll get back to you. I know I'm going to make it happen. And then I remember exactly when you bought the course, I had woke up to the sale and I was like, oh my God, she did it. Like, she really made it happen. I'm like, that is so cool that you were so just honest and integrous with your word. And I love that about you. And then even with Sedona as well, you're like, you know what? I'm doing it. Like, I'm making it happen. And you did that for yourself. So I am so proud of you. You should be so proud of you. I'm sure everyone listening is super inspired and moved. So I want to hear, like, what are some thoughts or some things you would share with somebody listening who's considering investing in one of my programs or my retreats or something of that nature?
I would tell them, take the risks, follow your intuition. You're not, you haven't found Giulia just by pure hazard. And if you really feel like it's calling your name, just trust that nudge and go for it, because there's so much in store for you when you join such a powerful group of women. It's literally gonna change your life, just like it changed mine. Before joining, I couldn't see myself 6 months forward. Now I just know, like, all the ideas, everything is coming together, and it's by seeing other women do their own thing that you're gonna get inspired, and you're gonna be able to change and evolve into the next level you. So yeah, I would say 100% go for it, make it happen, because you can literally make everything and anything you want happen. So use your power.
You're making me tear up. I don't know if you see, but you're literally making me tear up.
For real. Yeah. I'm sorry I'm making you tear up. But
you don't have to be sorry.
I'm sexy. Everyone is like, why is she saying this? No, but yeah, no, I 100% stand by what I just said. So yeah, for real.
Thank you so much. That really, like, hit my heart and, like, made me tear up, because it really makes me feel so good to just show people the way back home to their truth. Like, I really don't believe that I have something that you don't already have within you. And my strength, my power, my communities, my leadership is just bringing you back home, and is just reminding you of who you already are and who you always were, and showing you that power.
Yes, that's crazy. It saying it like that seems so simple, like you just have to go back home, but there are so many things that, you know, from being a little kid, that disturbs us from our path, that sometimes we just forget who we are and what we're capable of, that when we're adults it's not easy to just go back home. And that's where your leadership, your community comes in to help us so lovingly and compassionately to go back home, but also tough love, because you're tough love too. I love it, by the way. So yeah, that's so crazy. You know, I think I talked about it in Sedona a little bit, but I really haven't had the most easy childhood and teenagehood. I would say I don't know if it's okay if I share this.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, if you've been bullied, if you've been hurt physically, emotionally, if you've been humiliated because you're different, if you've gone through all these traumas like I have, there is still light at the end of the tunnel. And I feel like you really have to keep that faith that there is still light and that there are many ways out for you. And I would say go into the courses, invest in the masterminds, invest in the communities, because that's what will save you, to see possibilities. Because sometimes we're just so clouded and we see everything with this veil, this black grayish veil, that we can see all the possibilities. So yeah, don't isolate yourself, I guess, So yeah.
Thank you so much, JaJa. This was such a beautiful episode. It really hit my heart. I am so grateful for you. Is there anything else you want to share before you go?
I want to share that I freaking love you. I'm freaking blessed that I found your account, that I got to meet you in New York in December, in Sedona. Thank you so much for making it so special all the time and so expanding. So yeah, thank you so much for inviting me as well in this podcast. It's my first ever. It's been so good. I hope it won't be the last. And I'm so happy to know you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, JaJa.